Good afternoon, everyone. I know everybody's been watching the trial, especially Hank's opening statements, which are even worse than Lally's, if you could believe that. I want to start off by saying the video will be out tonight. 25 miles an hour, taillight versus arm. I couldn't film this weekend. Because of weather. It rained and stormed, and then it finally stopped raining Monday, but we had 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. So it slowed down everything. But in the thumbnail of my other video, it looks like the elbow is broken. It's just the light, the way it hits this material. The elbow is completely intact. But in doing my experiment this weekend, I came across a big mess up in the Commonwealth's theory that John was hit by the car. Even though they're still doubling down that that's what happened, I don't know what to say about that. I can't believe it, but I found an error in what they're thinking happened. I will put up a separate video later this evening describing what I figured out. And now I know why ARCA definitely did not test this theory. And I will let you all know what it is, but that'll be later today. I guess it's a blessing that I didn't get the video out, because I would have never thought of this if the video would have came out. And no one else has mentioned it. It's pretty damning, I think. We all know that Karen did not hit John in this I hit him that only came out at the last trial. We all know that's just another lie put forth by them. Just another story. Now, when there's a accident between a motor vehicle and a pedestrian, there is a force that is acted upon the taillight or the vehicle, if it is just a vehicle strike, and the human being. And speed makes a whole difference of what happens. So if you have a car hitting a person, the whole person at 25 miles per hour, that can do a lot of damage. But when you have a 10.5-pound arm get struck by a motor vehicle, there's a whole different equation that goes into that and a whole different outcome. And I was literally floored when I actually did the calculations of what the force could have been. And let's just say it is not much, not compared to a 7,000-pound vehicle hitting a 210, 215-pound person. That would be a different story, but a 7,000-pound SUV hitting a 10.5-pound arm comes out to a whole different story, and one that I didn't think of, one I've never heard of in the whole trial, and one that, frankly, the case shouldn't even be in court right now. Now they're saying that John was struck sometime after 2:27, probably closer to 12:32, which is impossible because we know that Karen was at John's house at 12:36, and everybody that has Wi-Fi knows that you have to be pretty close to the house before your Wi-Fi will connect. So that theory's out to bed. And then the reversing now 70 feet to 25 miles per hour and her tires were spinning in the snow. That's another one that we're going to put to bed, and I'm going to tell you right now why. Karen's car is all-wheel drive, but her car automatically has acceleration skid control. So it's like anti-lock brakes, but for the engine. The tires will only speed so fast and the vehicle not go unless it is disabled, which it was disabled because of the tow truck driver was in Karen's parents' driveway. Her vehicle was in probably 14 inches of snow, maybe 15, maybe more, and they used a snow plow to clear part of the driveway behind her vehicle, which right behind her vehicle where the snowplow couldn't get, there would have been a big snow drift. In order to get over that snow drift, they would have had to have wheel speed. And in that video, you can see the front wheel spinning. And the only way that could happen is if the traction control was turned off. Now, it's something that's not very hard to do, and I'm sure a tow truck driver can do it in 1 or 2 seconds. But Karen Reed being drinking and everything, why would she turn off traction control? So Hanky's theory is just out the window again, as usual. I mean, his opening statement, I was floored. The stuff that he said, I don't know how he's a lawyer, to be honest with you. He should have taken second seat and let Lally lead the Commonwealth and him just help Lally. At least Lally knows a little bit about what he's talking about. Sounds to me like Hank is just a book guy and has no real world knowledge of anything. He just knows how to read books and read the law and study the law. He doesn't really know people. His demeanor is all wrong for an attorney that's trying to represent a Commonwealth. And this is all in my opinion. But his new theory of everything that happened is so disprovable. The only thing that's going to stop the defense from winning this case is going to be the anti-bev. In my opinion, has been the biggest thorn in this whole case. I would bet that she is the one that is close friends with Morrissey. Of course, in my opinion, because we know that her mother worked in a school cafeteria with, I believe, Michael Morrissey's wife, or maybe his mother. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. I've got so many numbers in my head today. In any case, we know that they're probably the ones that are close together. Lally was smart, at least in his first trial, not to push too far of things that are provable wrong and that could be easily proved. It just blows my mind how unlikable Hank seems. And then him pushing the podium away didn't do him any favors. And then what spews out of his mouth is almost laughable. If this wasn't a trial of a murdered cop, it would be funny. But since that is what happened here, it is not. And now ARCA not being mentioned in the defense's opening statement is proof that they know what has happened and they know who is responsible, and they're trying to stop that. If I had to guess, there's more people watching this case than any other trial in the last 20, 30 years. I would say it's up there with the O.J. Simpson trial. But my video is coming out tonight. I had first did the experiment a different way, concentrating more on what John's injuries would be. But since John's injuries wouldn't even be that substantial, I now changed it to worst case scenario with the rear of the car. Actually, what I've done now is I've replicated as close as I could the actual outcome of what would happen at 25 miles per hour, which we know is completely impossible. In front of the Alberts house, if Karen would have been 70 feet down in front of the other neighbor's house, the neighbor to the right, or the neighbor to the left, if you're looking dead on at the house, if she was 70 feet down that street, that is a curve and it goes downhill. There's no way Karen drinking, as small as she is, not being able to see out of the back of that vehicle, could throw it in reverse and go 70 feet backwards at 25 miles per hour without crashing. And we all know that Higgins' Jeep was supposed to be there, so how would she have not hit that? And if she had traction control off, that means she had to have the anti-lock brakes turned off. Well, no, I don't think you can on that vehicle. Scratch that. Anyway, he said that she pulled up and pulled up and pulled up 70 feet away past the flagpole, which about middle of that house would be 70 feet, I suppose. But he said she put it in neutral and then gunned the throttle 75% with wheel speed, which is the funniest thing I've heard in my life. I can't believe somebody so dumb is saying that in front of the whole world. There's a lot of people out there that are educated in automotive and computer, and I'm sure they all thought that was hilarious. It's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. You can see in the Ring video, if they would show the whole Ring video, we would see the whole thing, but of course they cut up all the videos. But the Ring video, you can see the car has been rocking back and forth to get over that snowdrift that's behind it, and that is the Karen Reed's parents' driveway. The video before they pull it onto the tow truck, you can see that the car is rocked back and forth several times. And in order to get wheel speed to get over the snowdrift, where the plow couldn't get, he would have had to turn off the traction control. And I would say he probably locked the center and the center and rear diff to make all the wheels spin to get out of that spot. But of course they cherry picked the videos to fit their narrative instead of the videos showing the proof. But the video will be up tonight. I might put the other video up before it explaining why, if the arm was hit, it wouldn't have caused much damage because the actual force is not there. Not with just an arm getting hit at 25 miles per hour. That's why I said in a prior video I would almost use my own arm to prove that it wouldn't do much. But my arms and everything are my livelihood, so that's not going to happen. But we've got my friend's arm here, and he said we can go ahead and use his arm, and he's okay with it, and he's getting compensated well. Hopefully he hangs around for a while. I've kind of grown a liking to him. But anyway, thank all my subscribers and everyone that's donated to me. I really appreciate it. Everything helps. But mainly, I wanted to thank my subscribers. And if anybody's made it this far into the video, please subscribe and please share this video. And the video coming up tonight, please share it to everyone you know. And please hit the like button. I don't know if it helps, and people say it does, but we'll see. But this will probably be the most critical demonstration of this whole trial. And I hope everyone likes it, and I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you all, and have a good day.